It's another Fourth Art Saturday video hop organized by Meri Atelier. Please follow the description box below for the links to the other crafters and artists. This month's theme is scissors. Create an art or craft project focusing on scissors. Scissors. Well, did this turn out to be a project and a half? Took me days. I've had a lifetime to collect these things. I went around the house collecting what I consider to be shears and scissors. And a lot of these were handed down to me. I'm not a scissor collector, although it may look like it. And by the way, there are some I couldn't find. They're put away here and there. But this is sort of my basic collection of cutting instruments that go like this. Two blades crossing each other, creating a shearing motion. Here I have a whole collection of pinking shears. Some of these, one or two I bought. The rest were handed down. Or what's interesting, when you go to thrift stores, sometimes you'll get a box, and or tag sales especially, you'll get a box that's just sewing things with fabric and trims, and inevitably there's a pair of some kind of cutting tool. I can't imagine what we did before scissors. So these are all pinking shears that I've gotten through the years. Some are for fabric and some are for paper. Here's one of my first pairs, and it's paper now. I wouldn't dare use it on fabric. Then we have over here shears that are made for cutting tin, metal. They're huge, they're small, they're strong, very, very, very tough blades. Here are some pedicure scissors and shears. Cuticles, pedicure, toenails, fingernails. This I'll show you in a hurry. These are my smuggle on the airplane scissors if I need a scissor with a sharp point. Otherwise, I bring safety scissors like we use with the kids. We have tiny embroidery scissors, and my sewing machine scissors. These make it easy to cut the threads quickly, spring-loaded, and two other kinds for that. Now I have two sewing stations, so I need, just for my own sake, to have cutting instruments at both, so I don't have to look for them. These are more specialty sewing and embroidery. These are embroidery, so you don't cut, when you're cutting away the waste fabric, you don't accidentally cut the good fabric. And an angular cut. I have another pair that I really love I can't find right now. Here are some of the kitchen shears, and this one is a garden shear. I left the others out in the garage. Look at this. Can you believe this? And they're not in one location. They're spread all through the house. These are all-purpose. These are the kind that go in the junk drawer. I have two major fabric scissors. These are for cutting lengths of fabric, not any kind of fine cutting or anything. I love these, are my favorite. These are Fiskars. For those of us that are having issues with arthritis or mobility, these are wonderful. My whole hand fits practically in here. But they're listed as fabric. They're labeled as fabric. And then I have a pair just dedicated for paper, and it's a bright orange handle so I can find it quickly and don't accidentally pick up one of the good pair. Another pair of fabric. Then I have a pair that I use for when my hands are really tired and I need just a regular pair of scissors for snipping, and if I'm going to do something for a long time. These are good for fussy cutting. These, when I discovered them, were a real game changer. These are serrated edges scissors with a tiny Teflon coating, so they're perfect for fussy cutting. And I really protect these, the only ones that I really worry about the blades. Again here. And then I have some Taylor scissors. These were given to me. This is 10-inch. I don't know. These are very old. These are actually collectible. They're from the 1920s. I don't know how my mom used these. She made clothes, and she did all her home decor herself. And they're very, very big. And they're sharp. They're sharp right down to the tip. So I can cut as if I were using a smaller pair. They should be preserved. And this is another pair of shears, scissors that are made for cutting long pieces of fabric. These are my scissors so far. There are more. I can't find them. But if you're a youngin', you'll know as you get older, you'll be amassing a collection such as this. Oh my goodness. And what did I do with some of them? Let's see. For this project, I decided to do some kind of a scissor jacket or a scissor sleeve to protect the blades of the scissors, although in my intro you saw them just piled up, but that's only a one-at-a-time thing. Doesn't happen often. And I decided to scan the internet, see what I could come up with. And these are some of the scissor jackets I saw. And it occurred to me that owls are very popular right now. So I decided to make an owl scissor pocket. Here is the winning design. Well, the first thing that I did was print and cut out the owl to get an idea of how to hide the scissors. These are the scissors handles on the photograph. So I said, this is perfect size. These are some embroidery scissors. So that was the first thing I did. Now I had to create a shape that I liked a lot. This was a little too detailed over here, and I didn't like the bottom. But before that, I thought, let's look for fabric. I found, here it is, I had this fabric. I didn't know what I was going to do with it. This fabric is beautiful, and it's heavy. It's not a quilting cotton. It's heavier than that. Not upholstery, but in between. So I decided this was going to be the fabric for the body. And I kept playing with the shapes. I printed it out in black and white so that I didn't waste ink. Little by little, you'll see I adjusted the pattern little by little by little, and finally came up with this as the final. And you see it's very different from the original. And then I decided I needed to figure out how to make a pocket. So basically what I did was cut that top off, folded one of the pieces and put it together like this, and that would be the way the construction's going to work. And the scissors will go down in the pouch here. I always use a background fabric. Well, for this you have to, but so using all these pieces, the next thing I did was cut out this beautiful fabric, two bodies of the owl, exactly the same. I love this for the body, and I like this for the top, for the eyes. So I put interfacing on the pieces to make the pieces a little more substantial, because this is going to be used. I mean, this is going to get somewhere, so it has to be fairly thick. So I fold this back. Now you're getting a better picture, at least I'm getting a better picture, of how this scissor caddy is going to work. So the fun comes next in decorating this. Right now it doesn't look like an owl, but it will. I have so much lace I don't know what to do with it. Keep picking it up at garage sales and thrift shops. People donate it to me. This is what's left of a bolt. I didn't buy the bolt, but this is what's left of it. And this is a beautiful panel of lace. Look at how pretty this is. And all of these wonderful motifs. It's machine made. This is not an expensive lace. But I figured this would be perfect for pieces of the owl's body. I'm certainly not going to duplicate the owl the way it is. So what I did was, and I love this word, I harvested pieces of that lace. I harvested all kinds of motifs, just kept cutting them out. Little heart, look at how pretty these are. These are going to be beautiful. Ooh, let me fix that. Fix that exposure. So these are very pretty. This is just little pieces of lace. I love these motifs. It's going to turn up in more than one project. This is the edging. Look at how pretty that is. And then they had little pieces that I cut out. This is going to make up the owl. I did not like the way the white looked on the background fabric, on the body fabric. It just was too bright. The white was too bright. So I coffee dyed my harvested pieces. Sorry about the skin tone. I don't know what's going on here with the computer, but so I dyed I coffee dyed the bigger pieces and continued to harvest. And these are the pieces that are going to make up my owl scissor jacket. Well, I hope I've got the color and shading and all that fixed. First thing I've done is cut out a piece of backing fabric, just perfect size for our owl, and also it's a panel that I can use on any other project that I may think of. But what I'm going to do beforehand is take some rickrack and just add some what I'm thinking looks like branches. So now it won't look like our owl is just sitting in thin air. It has some branches on a tree to sit on. Then the next thing I'm doing is, if you see the sheen, I added a fusible to the back, and I'm going to fuse this down. Again, this is a utility project. This should get a lot of use, and I want it to be as strong as possible. So I'll fuse this, and now I'm going to zigzag around the edges just to make sure they're not going to fray. Now the body of the owl is fused down and so secured with a small zigzag. These are the scissors I've been using for this part. They're just very handy, and honestly, this has not been a good arthritis week. I'm going to do something similar to that with the body, but first I'm going to cut off some of this extra fabric. There's too much fabric, so what I'll do is take this to the machine and sew across here and around the side so it doesn't fray. Little by little, this is starting to take shape. So as we planned, this is going to go, the bottom is going to go right here, and the decorations, the wings and ears and feet, are going to be attached. The wings and feet to this, and the ears and eyes to this part. Well, owl is partially done. Here's his body, and here is Mr. Owl. Not done yet, but we're getting there. So what has to be done now is I'll just sew around here and close up the two pieces. This is all sewn in. This is all sewn in. It shouldn't go anywhere. So now I'm going to attach the two. This is fun. Well, turning out pretty good. I'm happy with it. I'm not happy though, the eyes have no personality. So I have some buttons and some beads, and we're going to give Owlie some eyes. Here is Mr. Owl, my September 4th Art Saturday Video Hop contribution on scissors. Mr. Owl scissor jacket. I bound the edges with just a simple rollover binding because if I have time and you stay around, I will show you how this panel is going to be used. Well, thank you for staying to the end. And here's my little surprise. My owl has some usefulness. So the next time someone says, "Who stole my scissors?" say, "Mr. Owl did." And I have him in a caddy, a little jacket attached to my embroidery bag. And here's a bag filled with things you need for embroidery. There are pockets. Here's a zip pocket to carry any fabric, patterns. There are pockets for needles and such, tools, pens, whatever it is you need to put in your little embroidery emergency grab and go bag. So this is the project for scissors. Very useful tool. Thank you, Meri, for this exciting challenge. I loved it. It's a lot of fun. Please stay around. Please see the description below for all of the other crafters and artists, and support them. Please subscribe to my channel. If you wish, please share it. Please give me a thumbs up. And as always, stay safe, stay smart, stay well. Bye for now. Do something today that makes you smile.